There's no shortage of shadows in the streets of City of Mist, especially with Halloween just around the corner. But shadows themselves are nothing to be afraid of. In truth, what the human heart truly fears are the creatures of the night that may lurk within them. Last week, we gave advice on how to run a horror game that could send shivers down the spines of your players. But what's a horror game without its source of terror? When the thing that goes bump in the night is finally revealed, you'll need a truly monstrous danger to make your crew tremble with fright. Thankfully, the City of Mist tabletop RPG has no shortage of horrors to unleash on an unsuspecting crew. If you wish to meet these cretinous creeps, then join me as we uncover 5 horrifying dangers in City of Mist. Our first danger is a classic one, found in dusty crawl spaces, forgotten wardrobes, and the occasional junkyard fridge. The closet creeps wait in their hiding spots for a curious investigator to uncover them. These literal monsters in the closet are the riffs of old horror movie mummies, vampires, and skeletons. At first glance, closet creeps appear to be desiccated corpses wrapped in straitjacket-like shrouds. As they shuffle and groan, these zombified creatures grab at unwary victims and suck the very life out of them. Once they get their grip on you, there is very little that can save you. But what may be more horrifying than the closet creeps themselves is the tale of their origin. Truthfully, no one quite knows why closet creeps are created. It just so happens that in the darkest corners of the city, those who suffer from heart-wrenching loneliness will begin to feel cold and hear a presence calling out to them. As these unfortunate souls become colder and colder, they eventually make their way to a forgotten container and curl up inside, where they are slowly corrupted and consumed with a desire for warmth. Only magic has a chance of bringing these creatures back to life. But if there's no magic to be found, a bolt in the head may have to do. If you want to give your crew an old-fashioned jump scare, you can find the closet creeps in Shadows and Showdowns. Speaking of the undead, our next danger is a butcher who is very passionate about his work, to put it mildly. Maurice Alwari, better known as Snatcher, is the rift of the undead ghoul. Working from his butcher shop in the industrial zone, Snatcher provides a vital service to the city's criminal underground. If you've got a body you need getting rid of, Snatcher will be more than happy to take it off your hands. No questions asked. While business is booming, Snatcher has no reason to find his own supply of corpses. But if things dry up and Snatcher becomes hangry, he and his gravediggers are more than capable of finding fresh meat. Beware his giant meat cleaver and metal chain, for those are his preferred tools of the trade. Snatcher appears in Killing Her Softly, one of the first cases in Knights of Paintown. While his role in the story is a small one, his monstrous frame and gruesome abilities make him a force to be reckoned with. Worse yet, should Snatcher ever leave a meal unfinished, that corpse will soon rise as a ghoul to seek its own unfortunate prey. While some dangers are predators with purpose, others are victims of their own mythos' carnal cravings. Thorne Sorensen, the rift of Asengrim the Wolf, is one such victim. Most of the time, Thorne is a friendly firefighter who's just trying to get by. But as his gluttonous cravings catch up with him, Thorne transforms into a bestial creature of claws, fur, and fangs. Thorne is similar to Snatcher in terms of incredible strength and fondness for flesh. But while Snatcher is coherent enough to run his own business, Thorne's lack of control can make him more animal than man. Once he's in his werewolf form, Thorne will grasp at whoever is near and will continue to feed until his ravenous appetite is satisfied. Thorne appears in Home is Where the Heart Is, another case in Knights of Paintown. While Thorne has his own story to follow, you can easily use his stat block to represent any number of berserk predators that lurk within your city. Now it's time for a danger that doesn't want to kill you immediately. If you're in need of medical aid and are running low on options, there exists a veterinary clinic staffed by Dr. Lafton, rift of H.G. Wells's Dr. Moreau. While the veterinary clinic also serves humans, some patients may not be able to tolerate the side effects that come with their treatment. In truth, Dr. Lafton is a madman who solves his patients' problems by grafting animal parts to them. No matter the issue, Lafton believes no problem can't be solved with the addition of a monkey lung or additional cow stomach. His skills are great enough to save you from certain death, but once you wake up from surgery, you'll find a new side of yourself you'll have to learn how to tame. You can find Dr. Lafton's veterinary clinic in Shadows and Showdowns. Depending on the treatment, Dr. Lafton can provide player characters with permanent story tags or even new mythos themes to represent their new strengths. Just be sure not to barge in without setting up an appointment. Finally, from the MC Toolkit comes a crime lord with power over death itself. Samuel Valtierra, Rift of voodoo necromancer Baron Samedi, is a cemetery groundskeeper turned mob boss that rules over the blue-collar residential district. "Nobody dies unless Valtierra says so," is a common saying by his men, with a terrifying bit of truth to it. Valtierra is one of the only people out of all the rifts and avatars of the city who can bring people back to life. Right now, he uses it to keep his men alive after firefights while they expand their boss's turf. But this disregard for death has landed Valtierra in the sights of another crime boss with powers over death. And if you've seen our previous video going over this powerful force, you should know a confrontation between these two can only lead to disaster. Unless there's a crew to stop it, of course. Samuel Valtierra is a perfect villain for crews to face off against, with his gangs of thugs and zombies to protect his nefarious schemes. If a crewmate happens to die on a case, desperate PCs could also approach Valtierra for a resurrection, if they're willing to pay his price. There are many more rifts of goblins and ghosts to terrorize players with in City of Mist. Before the month is over, be sure to check out our Game Nights of Paintown sale for deals on a variety of bundles, all of which contain even more deadly dangers that haunt the city's streets. What's your favorite horrifying danger in City of Mist? Let us know in the comments, on social media, or on the City of Mist Discord. Until then, have fun!